Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to explore the power of silence and the wisdom of choosing when to speak and when to hold back. Silence is often undervalued in our fast-paced world where we feel pressured to share our thoughts immediately. However, there are moments where remaining silent can lead to deeper understanding, connection, and personal growth. Let's dive into 5 situations where embracing silence can be a true gift. In our interconnected world, we are constantly bombarded with information from various sources, social media, news outlets, and casual conversations. This abundance of information can create a sense of urgency to voice opinions or make judgments before we have all the necessary facts. However, it's crucial to recognize that rushing to speak without a full understanding can lead to misunderstandings, reinforce biases, and perpetuate misinformation. The value of gathering information. Taking a moment of silence allows us to pause and reflect before responding. It's a reminder to ask ourselves, do I truly understand the situation? Have I considered all perspectives? This pause isn't just about hesitating, it's about actively seeking clarity. By committing to gather all relevant information, we position ourselves to engage in more meaningful discussions. For instance, when discussing a complex issue, rather than jumping in with an opinion based on hearsay, we can choose to research, ask questions, and listen to diverse viewpoints. This process not only enriches our understanding, but also enhances our credibility when we do decide to share our thoughts. The dangers of assumptions. Assuming we know the facts can lead us to make statements that are not only inaccurate but potentially harmful. Consider a scenario where a colleague is facing challenges at work. If we jump to conclusions about their performance based on limited observations, we may inadvertently exacerbate their situation or create unnecessary conflict. Instead, choosing silence allows us to observe, gather insights, and empathize. This approach cultivates a culture of understanding where individuals feel safe to share their experiences without fear of being judged prematurely. Encouraging dialogue. Silence in the face of uncertainty can also encourage a more open dialogue. When we refrain from speaking out of turn, it signals to others that we value their insights and contributions. This fosters an environment where questions are welcomed and collaborative problem-solving can take place. Imagine a team meeting where everyone takes a moment to consider their input before speaking. This intentional silence not only elevates the conversation but also strengthens relationships and trust within the group. Cultivating humility arguments and heated discussions can ignite quickly, often fueled by strong emotions and differing perspectives. In such moments, the urge to respond immediately can be overwhelming. However, recognizing the value of silence in these situations can transform the outcome of the conversation and deepen our connections with others. The emotional landscape. During heated exchanges, our emotions can cloud our judgment and influence our reactions. Anger, frustration, or hurt can lead us to say things we don't truly mean, creating a cycle of defensiveness and escalation. When we choose silence, we create a buffer between our emotions and our words. This pause allows us to step back and reflect on what we're truly feeling and what we wish to communicate. By taking a moment to breathe, we can diffuse the tension and prevent unnecessary conflict. The power of active listening. Silence is not merely the absence of words, it is an opportunity for active listening. When we refrain from speaking, we give the other person the space to express themselves fully. This not only demonstrates respect, but also provides us with valuable insights into their perspective. Active listening fosters empathy, allowing us to better understand the underlying motivations behind their words. By genuinely listening, we can respond more thoughtfully, addressing their concerns rather than merely countering their arguments. Is avoiding escalation. In the heat of an argument, emotions can escalate rapidly. Words can become sharp and hurtful, leading to feelings of regret and damage to relationships. Choosing silence during these critical moments can act as a calming agent. It allows us to prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. For example, if someone raises their voice or makes a personal attack, taking a moment of silence can help us regain our composure and avoid retaliating with hurtful remarks. This deliberate choice can foster a more constructive atmosphere where resolution becomes possible, creating space for reflection. Silence also creates space for reflection. When we pause, we have the opportunity to assess the situation more objectively. We can ask ourselves questions like, what is the main issue at hand? What do I really want to convey? How can I express my viewpoint without diminishing the other person's experience? This reflective practice can lead to more intentional and thoughtful communication when we do choose to speak. Building trust and respect. Choosing silence during arguments can ultimately strengthen trust and respect in our relationships. It signals that we value the other person's perspective, even if we disagree. When we take the time to listen and respond thoughtfully, it demonstrates a commitment to the relationship rather than a desire to win the argument. This approach fosters a culture of collaboration and mutual understanding where both parties feel heard and valued. Practicing vulnerability. Embracing silence in the midst of conflict requires vulnerability. It means acknowledging that we may not have all the answers or that our perspective may need to evolve. By showing this vulnerability, we invite the other person to do the same. This can lead to a deeper level of connection, as both parties feel safe to express their true feelings without fear of judgment or ridicule. Recognizing that we don't have all the facts requires humility. It's an acknowledgement that we are not infallible and that our understanding is shaped by our experiences, biases, and perspectives. By choosing to remain silent, we demonstrate a willingness to learn and grow. This humility can create space for others to share their knowledge, leading to a richer, more nuanced conversation. In our fast-paced, interconnected world, we often find ourselves in situations where the potential outcomes of our words can have significant implications. Whether in personal relationships, workplace dynamics, or public discussions, the stakes can feel high. In these moments, choosing silence can be a powerful and prudent decision. Recognizing the weight of our words. Every time we speak, our words have the power to shape perceptions, influence decisions, and affect relationships. This is especially true in sensitive situations where emotions are involved or where the subject matter is complex. When we find ourselves unsure of the potential consequences of what we might say, it is crucial to pause and assess the situation. By choosing silence, we can avoid making statements that could lead to misunderstandings, hurt feelings, or even conflict. This awareness highlights the responsibility we carry in our communication. The risk of rash reactions. When we are caught off guard or provoked, there is often a strong temptation to react impulsively. This is particularly true in emotionally charged situations where our instinct is to defend ourselves or our beliefs. However, acting on impulse can lead to regrettable outcomes. For example, saying something hurtful in the heat of the moment can damage a relationship irreparably. By practicing silence when we feel uncertain, we create space to consider our words and their potential impact. This intentional choice can save us from the regret that often follows hasty responses. Cultivating mindfulness. Choosing silence when we're unsure also encourages us to cultivate mindfulness in our communication. It prompts us to ask ourselves critical questions. What am I hoping to achieve with my words? How might my comments affect the other person? What is the broader context? By taking a step back to consider these questions, we gain clarity about our intentions and the potential repercussions of our statements. This mindfulness not only enhances our communication, but also fosters a more compassionate approach to interactions. In our fast-paced world, it's common for conversations to become a dance of interruptions and overlapping voices. Yet, the act of truly listening when someone else is speaking is a rare and invaluable skill. Choosing to embrace silence in these moments is a profound way to demonstrate respect, enhance understanding, and foster connection. The power of active listening. When we allow others to express themselves fully without interjecting, we engage in active listening, a fundamental component of effective communication. Active listening involves giving our full attention to the speaker, both verbally and non-verbally. This means maintaining eye contact, nodding in acknowledgement, and refraining from planning our responses while they talk. By choosing silence, we signal to the speaker that their thoughts and feelings matter, creating a safe space for them to share. This practice not only deepens our understanding of their perspective, but also encourages them to open up further. Fostering empathy and understanding. Silence during another person's speech is an opportunity for empathy to flourish. When we listen intently, we begin to comprehend not just the words, but the emotions and experiences behind them. This can lead to greater compassion and a more profound understanding of the speaker's situation. For example, when a friend shares a personal struggle, our silence allows us to fully grasp their feelings and respond with empathy, rather than simply offering surface-level platitudes. In doing so, we validate their experience and strengthen our relationship, avoiding the temptation to interrupt. In conversations, especially in group settings, the temptation to interrupt can be strong. We might feel eager to share our thoughts or correct misinformation. However, interruptions can derail the flow of conversation and signal to the speaker that their words are not valued. By choosing silence, we resist this impulse, allowing the speaker to complete their thoughts and ensuring that we truly understand their message before responding. This practice not only enhances our communication skills, but also cultivates a culture of respect and collaboration within our interactions, encouraging deeper conversations. When we practice silence while someone else is speaking, we open the door for deeper and more meaningful conversations. It encourages the speaker to explore their thoughts and feelings without the pressure of being interrupted. Often, people have more to share than they initially express, and by giving them space, we invite them to delve deeper into their narrative. This can lead to richer discussions where both parties feel heard and understood, ultimately fostering a sense of connection and shared experience.